what fresh heresy is this?
Yeah.
I think they could use these tunnels to move guys around.
Oh, fucking Christ.
You have penetrated but the very surface of our catacombs.
I don't think we actually have to fight this, by the way. This is just another cutscene.
I'm really hoping that's the case. But I have to fight the fights I'm actually fighting at the moment, which is going... Alright. Not great, not terrible.
It could be better.
It could be better, it could be a lot worse, though. And I want to leave the Dreadnought actually where it is, I think. For now. Oh, that was a weird thing.
Oh, I think that fight was going on during that cutscene.
That doesn't quite seem fair, I'll be honest with you there. That's cheating ever so slightly. Right. Oh god, they took out my bloody thing. Oh god.
It's okay. Like, most of the honor guard's still alive. We only really need the honor guard to get us through this initial assault,
the opening
and then
seconds,
we can gun line up and do what we usually do.
Yeah. It's still looking a bit closer than I'd like it to be, though.
Yeah, once Thule gets in, he'll start to deal out the hurt, though. At least I hope he will.
You would think so, wouldn't you? God, heavy destroyers from the start game, really?
It's tough going.
It is.
I'm not sure what the fluff is behind heavy destroyers. I think it's just
a regular Necron thing just mounted onto a weird body.
The zoom in on it. Yeah, I actually really like destroyers. I think they look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Smashing
Not
Thule.
much of a match for Thule, though, at least, which is always good. Especially now we've actually, got some Marines on the ground. Let's attach the Librarian to them.
What we might want to consider is, rather than attaching Thule to a melee squad where he'll be more vulnerable,
we actually attack into something defensive.
Yeah, maybe just a regular squad of Marines. We can discuss it when we have Marines to assign him to.
Yeah, for now I'm really just fighting uphill.
Let's have Danatar go back and capture that point.
Yep, that's what he's there for!
Ah, jetpack.
He is very cool.
There is no such thing as innocence.
Only to gleams of guilt.
Right.
I love the Librarian's little sayings when you click on him.
Yeah, got a lot of time for it.
Well, viewership, we hope you're still with us and you're still having fun, but this is going to be a long, long campaign.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of Necrons and there's a lot of ground to make up, and hopefully you're game for it and you'll be with us right to the very bitter end. Which might be sooner than you expect, because I think it's tough going tough going in the early stages of this game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Necrons turn up at the very end of Dawn of War Winter Assault.
Yes, they do.
But they've only got like a couple of units. They're not like a fully developed faction, and they're not playable in any
they're
way.
definitely not playable, yeah.
But like a single Necron warrior is all but invincible in Winter Assault.
Yeah. Because they're just there as like a final boss kind of thing, yeah.
It's a nice kind of fake out, and again, it's nice that they include more factions.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a bit of like almost, with your not prelude, what's the word? No, it is prelude, I think. I mean, like a teaser for this game almost.
Yeah, definitely. There's still some cool... I think they do well picking the factions and making them distinct in this game, but there's some cool ones that kind of miss out, so... I wouldn't put turrets there, because then any heavy vehicles we build...
I was thinking of maybe actually putting the vehicles in front of them, but yes.
Yeah. There's some cool factions that they don't really explore in this game.
Yeah.
Like the Tyranids, the extra dimensional...
Yeah,
threat,
they're in the second one.
Or the extra galactic threat. Yeah, it's just constant.
Yep. But we're alright here, as long as we're ready for stuff to come back to life, we're actually alright.
I don't know if their stuff does come back to life.
Actually, flayed ones can't reanimate, at least. Any corpses can be reanimated by the Necron Lord with his orb, but he's got to be in the right way to that.
Do you know the fluff behind flayed ones?
Yeah, they've literally like draping the flesh of like fallen enemies on themselves.
Yeah, because
which makes them horrifying.
Yeah, because there's some semblance of their human, or whatever they were, their Necronitor personality left, and they long to be fleshy again.
Which is kind of really fucked up.
Grim, dark.
Yeah, definitely. Right, you, Reclusiarch, need to come and join with Dan... Oh, you can't join with Danatar. Fair, on you go then. I will attach you to Long... Oh no, Longest is doing alright. He's on his own, but... That's his shtick, so...
So, I read now from the Warhammer 40,000 rulebook on page 122.
Necrons are no longer creatures of flesh and blood. Necrons are androids that can survive crippling damage. Once rent, the metal form which they are formed flows back together, severed limbs scrabble to reattach themselves. Should irreparable damage occur, the Necron phases out, its body and consciousness teleported back to the nearest tomb complex to remain in storage until a new shell can be forged. The technologies by which this are accomplished are a mystery, and many contingencies, including self-destruct mechanisms, prevent that knowledge from falling into the covetous hands of lesser races.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Geth in Mass Effect is like, oh, they fry themselves when they're killed. How convenient.
Yes.
Oh, he's got a bomb button. That's
He does. He does have a bomb button. I mean, if one thing we've learned from our D&D campaign, Doctor, you love a good bomb.
I do. I really do.
And a little side plug here, if you're gentlemen, if you're enjoying this kind of tabletop adaptation of a popular Warhammer 40,000 game, why not watch our D&D stream? It's excellent. We put a lot of time, money, and effort into it. We think it's pretty cool. If you like 40k, odds are you probably like D&D. Why not give our campaign a go?
Absolutely.
I don't want to generalize, but like, if you're this kind of nerd, you probably like D&D.
God, they really don't give you much requisition on this, do they? Mm-mm. I guess that's to stop you building up an immortal gun line too easily.
There's very, very few strategic points.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. They want you to overstretch yourself. They want to prevent exactly the kind of approach that we normally do.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably move this gun line up.
Yeah, I want to wait until this turret is better, which we're getting there, step by step.
Okay, that seems fair.
I got a bit of a plan in the long run, so...
I don't think these Necrons are of a particular dynasty, but there are various Necron dynasties. There are like kind of different varieties of Necron, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I think my plan is I want to level this up a bit, move them forward, and then I think I'm going to put like a machine cult or something like that here as a kind of like forward position.
I see. Let's look a little bit more of the Necron war gear then. So this is on the next page of the rulebook.
Necron technology is even less fathomful to Imperial tech priests than the wonders wrought by the Eldari, so that's the Eldar.
Yep.
Gauss weapons are the most commonly crafted weapon carried over the Necron by the Necron soldiery. Unlike conventional Imperial energy weapons, a Gauss projector does not deliver a laser burst or a bolt of force, but instead emits a molecular disassembling beam capable of reducing flesh or armour to its constituent atoms.
Nice.
Other examples of Necron war tech, quantum shielding, Tesla, and particle weaponry are equally inexplicable in their operation.
Next, in real life, Gauss is like magnetic shit, basically.
Yeah, but this stuff just strips things away at a molecular level. Like you're
Nice.
you're flayed by your molecules.
Yeah, it sounds rough when you put it like that.
It's grim, is what it is.
That's 40k's thing.
Yeah, unnecessarily grimdark. I'm not overly keen on the Necrons as a faction, to be honest, Doctor. I've never been very drawn to them, but they are what they are, and I can see the appeal. I just don't share it.
At least it seems they don't have much of an ability to deep strike flayed ones, which is nice. Flayed ones are annoying in melee, and when they just hop in your ranks, they can be a real problem. But
yeah, they kind of crawl up out of the earth, don't they?
Yeah.
There's a nice animation for it.
I like the way that mechanically it's deep striking, but what's actually happening is you're on a tomb world. There's probably some flayed ones underneath you, which is quite cool.
I've got a little bit of an issue with like the level design for this one. So like we're encouraged to be more conservative in how we play because we can't lose our commander, right?
Yeah.
But yet they don't give us the resources to tech up appropriately and advance steadily. We're encouraged by the map to advance, but we're encouraged by our objectives
they want
to
you.
play cautiously.
They want you to stretch yourself too thin, basically.
Yeah,
It's the plan.
The game's sending me mixed signals, which I don't like it when that happens, but fair enough. I mean, we could just play this very slowly and wait until we've got the forces we need and then advance, but that seems boring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to cut this down a little bit. I just want to get some of the basic stuff, especially the stuff that's going to make Thule more durable, like these Commander Veteran upgrades and stuff, Inspiring Aura.
That's probably not a bad idea, actually.
Just because anything that's going to make him last a little longer. What do we think we were going to say we were going to attach Thule to?
I mean, it might be safer just to put him in with some regular Marines.
Or some Terminators. I don't know, because I'll probably be using the Terminators. Yeah, I'll attach him to these Marines for now.
Oh, they go to Thule, okay.
That's how we do that, apparently.
Yeah, I really don't know as much about the Necrons as I do many of the other 40k races.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I've just lost your stream.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, no,
It says you're coming back.
I've got it back. It's good. It's
Cool.
This day shall be a glorious one for the Imperium.
You still in sync?
Cool.
If I click on Thule,
Walk softly
Yep.
and carry a big gun.
I think I'm good. The graphic quality has dropped sharply.
you're not missing much visually. This flayed one's just standing here on the edge, doing some nonsense, rebuilding one another,
Oh,
falling apart.
Are they
No, it's just
regenerative?
that's what it looks like when they reinforce.
Is my
Oh, I see.
Venerate the immortal emperor.
All the enemies of the Emperor still draw.
Oh,
I'm going for a mixture of heavy bolters and plasma guns.
yeah, well, it doesn't hurt, especially because plasma guns can be fired on the move, which I think is a big deal.
Yeah, I think it is. Just basically trying to fully tech up here, I think, really.
So, viewership, the Doctor and I were doing some reading earlier on about various other 40k games, and we learned that the game Fire Warrior, which we've mentioned a few times on the channel, it's an old kind of FPS game where you play as, shockingly, a Tau Fire Warrior, one of the alien races in 40k.
That's okay, it's no less. It's the one from this.
Oh, it's not. So I
It is.
thought
I checked this, and it is.
No.
Google it.
I am Googling it, but I looked it up, and I thought for years that the Tau commander in this is the player character from Fire Warrior, but the internet told me otherwise, and I was very disappointed.
Well, let's get some Grey Knights to go with the Chaplain.
Oh, yeah, that's a good check. If we give it makes sense the chaplain to run around with the Grey Knights.
Yeah, true, actually. Thematically.
Again, I just like the chaplain's purpose is to kind of run around and give them war boners.
That is one way of putting it.
I know that one of the objections people raise about the 41st millennium is it makes no conceivable sense that we would have, or the Space Marines have armor which is impregnable to most of the weapons of their time. Because that's not how
Yeah, it tends to be a bit of an arms race. Literally an arms race.
Yeah,
That if someone
people-
builds better armor, you build a better gun.
Yeah, people claim that that's not how armor works in reality. I was like, have you ever heard of the Middle Ages?
True, actually, yeah.
Where if you were a knight in plate armor, you basically couldn't die in battle.
But also, that didn't last long before guns then started being a thing.
that is true.
It didn't last 10,000 years, put it that way.
No, it didn't. But I suppose this is a setting where explicitly we're told technology is stagnated. Nobody,
Yeah,
at least
true,
in
true.
the Imperium of Mankind, is innovating. So, I remember I read a biography about not an Imperial Knight. That's a different thing. A medieval knight recently, and apparently,
Just to briefly interrupt, I didn't realise our senior librarian also comes with all his abilities unlocked off the bat. Don't
Yeah.
need to research from the Sacred Icon. That's nice. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, apparently I read a biography of this medieval knight, and apparently it was very rare for knights to actually die in battle,
Yeah.
because if you could best them, as in if you could knock them over or make them yield to you, it was more advantageous to take a knight alive and then ransom him back to his
Yeah.
family. And also because it's just difficult if the guy is covered in steel to do anything to hurt him.
Yeah. So there's a series that's worth watching on, single episode, I don't know if it's still on, but it was on Netflix. It's worth a watch. It's incredibly American, but don't let that fully deter you. It's called Secrets of the Shining Knight, which is kind of a bullshit name, but the point of it is, so there's a significant period of time where guns and knights in full armor coexisted on the battlefield.
That's very cool.
And it's basically looking into, there are parts of design of basically the poshest high-end armors of the time, which look like they might have been designed as an anti-musket thing. And basically, the whole conceit of it is it's part documentary, but then part also trying to forge, using traditional techniques, a suit of armor which will deflect a musket blast.
That's very, very cool.
Worth a watch, definitely, if you can suck up the Americanness. There's also a brilliant bit where a guy is trying to show how actually surprisingly flexible you can be in plate armor, even though it's heavy. If it's properly designed and mobile, you're fully movable. And it's this guy running around in full plate armor doing roly-polies and riding a bike and stuff, which is brilliant to see.
Yeah, I read this as well quite some time ago, and it was reinforced by this biography of this knight that I read. But modern soldiers go into battle with carrying more weight than medieval soldiers did.
Yeah, and armor, if it's well-designed, top-of-the-line armor at the time, was really flexible. But obviously that would cost, an estate, that kind of amount of money, really.
I think that there's a really strange phenomenon in modern thinking that because people lived a long time ago, they were stupider than us. And it's like, it's not, people didn't become less intelligent. Like, people were just as capable of solving problems in 1400 as they are in 2021. It's just that they didn't have the benefits of 2,000 years of human science, whereas we do.
Yeah. Well, especially the whole thing of the medieval era is that a lot of that stuff had been lost.
Exactly.
Like, there was technology out around the Greek period that you didn't have before then, and that humanity's always gone in cycles of that.
Much as 40k alludes to. Look at that segue back into the game that we're playing.
I was reading recently about... do you know much about the Minoan civilization?
Sorry, I just taken a drink of whiskey as you said that. Very little. Are these the Mesopotamians?
No, so these were before... They were the big Mediterranean civilization before ancient Greece.
Okay.
They were based on the modern-day island of Thera, or Santorini as it's called, which is... you go to it nowadays, it's a smoking ruin, because the Minoans learned, unfortunately, the hard way, what a lot of ancient cultures learned, which is that the mountain on which their main city is built is a volcano. But they are basically almost certainly the origin of the ancient Greek myth of Atlantis. That they were like, to the Greeks, they were like this super advanced civilization who was then basically destroyed in one night by a natural disaster.
I remember, I watched a documentary about this, about Atlantis, and lots of ancient cultures have this persistent myth of a very advanced super nation that just ceased to exist and sank beneath the waves one day.
And it probably goes like, if you imagine, civilization going in cycles of technology like that, and think about what pushes you back, it's usually going to be some kind of semi-apocalyptic event, like a massive earthquake or hurricane or natural disaster.
Yep. We should
destroy the beacon of life. We can do that.
Now, I think it's
going to do some nonsense, isn't it?
I think it kills... No, don't get around for too close to it. I think it might kill anything that's not a vehicle.
Cool, let's just stay at this range then.
Oh, shit.
What?
Or maybe it just brings back those Necrons. I think there's going to be several beacons and they all do different things.
Oh, good. That's not nonsense at all.
One of the things we have to look forward to is a beacon that kills everything that's not a vehicle.
Oh, God. Well, let's take out this first one and see how that goes. We've got a decent gun line here now.
Yeah. It's strange that I don't like Necrons as much, because one of my Warhammer fantasy armies that I play is Vampire Counts. So it's an army that's based around legions of skeletons.
Oh, look at the fuckers getting back up.
Oh, it looks really cool, though.
It does, the way they kind of go like a puppet or something like that is very cool, but also, fuck off.
Do you ever watch... It's not necessarily the best Marvel movie, but there's a Avengers Age of Ultron trailer where it's just Ultron's voice singing the song from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
It's like, I had strings, but now I'm free. You know, that song.
Whatever you say about that film, James Spader's performance as Ultron was very enjoyable.
Oh, it's excellent. I hadn't seen The Office until very recently. I came very late to The Office, but I watched it, and then as soon as he came on, I was like, I know that voice. I was like, holy shit, this is Ultron! Before he was Ultron.
It is an incredibly recognisable voice.
He's got a beautiful voice. It's so rich and bassy and lovely.
Yeah. Well, let's take on this summoning call, why not, over here.
That implacable advance. Well, we're kind of getting our head of steam going viewership, so this is going to be a kind of long campaign that we'll kind of talk through and keep you interested with our chat. We're really delighted that so many of you tune in for this kind of stuff. But tell us in the comments, how are you enjoying the series so far? So what are you tuning in for? Do you enjoy our tactics? Do you enjoy the kind of historical discussions about historical warfare? Is it just the Doctor and I bantering that you're here for? Let us know in the comments. Hopefully it's not the banter, because God knows that's terrible. But
God help you if that's the case.
God help us all.
Right, come back, guys. Melee units, I think, are a problem potentially against Necrons. They tend to have a bad time.
I think it's just because usually they would do more damage, but the Necrons are so durable.
Yeah.
I think Necrons are usually played as a shooting army in tabletop 40k, so I don't.
They haven't got many good melee units, certainly in this.
They've got a few new ones, so I think people run the Wraith Rush was a tactic in previous editions where you just spawned loads and loads of Wraiths and just rushed them at the enemy.
Makes sense, and then the name checks out.
Yeah, it was quite effective. I played against a few players who ran lists like that, and it was tough. It was really tough going.
Yeah. 400 requisition, good lord. Ugh.
It's 400 requisition for a Predator tank.
No, that's for the heavy armor thing that gets me las cannons on the Predator, which obviously I didn't want. in the
Okay.
long run. I'm going to try and, I want to take advantage of the fact we've got this mad high cap.
Yeah, but also, like, we fought hard for that cap, so we should